that tweet out in time. Just missed it. But back in action for the OlimoLeague. This is the other semifinals match. The winner of this will fight Salvation in the grand final. So TV something. The question is, TV what? Spawning here in the top right corner of the map, playing for Axiom. It's the man with a plan. Red Circle player Impact.
The bottom left as the blue Terran, it's Gumiho.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, I believe this is Gumiho's first OlimoLeague. Is that right?
I don't think so.
No? Okay. Well, I have not seen... I'm trying to recall if he's been made anything lately. Regardless, the point is, though, we saw him actually perform really well in our tournament, 32 Boys 1 Cup. He kicked ass in his group. He's a fun Terran player to watch. He's had a lot of success recently with pretty much every match he's been in. And, being the fact that we open up here on Deadwing, I'm gonna be honest, I'm hoping A for mech and I'm hoping B for battlecruisers.
Maybe you're right. Maybe I just thought that, you know, he was in our tournament, so that's why we've been casting him seemingly a lot. Oh well.
Are those stuffed animals on his bed? What are you guys looking at? Oh, no, those are my clothes. Socks and pants and all. What's up?
Nothing wrong with having stuffed, you know, plushies.
Well, I used to have those stupid Beanie Babies. I thought like one day they'd be worth something, right? Everyone's like, you gotta collect them. They'll become collectors.
Oh, yeah. Those aren't really great. You know, those are top tier plushies, okay? Gotta go to anime conventions for those.
Yeah. I bought one of those big Totoro things for my mom. I gave it to her when I came back from Toronto. And my mom loves Totoro. She doesn't know much about anime, but she loves Totoro.
Oh. My mom... I have no idea what do I get my mom. Oh, apparently she likes Doctor Who, which is like, whatever.
Dude, do you not like Doctor Who as well? God! God!
I don't.
You know, people always like, Rifkin, you know, you and Zombie, you'd be so cute together. I'm like, no, dude, I would not want to spend a single minute with this woman outside of casting. She's got the worst taste in everything.
You know what else I don't like?
No, please don't tell me. I want to be your friend still.
Miyazaki movies.
Okay,
yeah,
so
like he brought up to her.
Impact, he goes for the gas, follow up this pool. You know, the hatchery came down after all of this, of course. So,
well, it came out before the gas.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to segue away from this so I can hate you a little less. So we're just moving on.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, that's a good point. Which is actually that's what's different between this and say what, True did last game. Remember? He went for the gas after pool, but then didn't get the gas. Yeah, so that's why we really expect him to get the gas, because you can just do what Impact does, you know, and get the more economical pool first opener. But that's not what True did.
I was like so close to like my snitty voice, like pool first, quite. Okay. Pinky's out while you build.
No, that was my like what was that guy with like the really monotone voice? Ben Stern or something like that? Ben Stein?
Oh, Ben Stein,
he was like Clear Eyes, yeah?
Clear Eyes or Red Eyes.
Yeah, exactly. That was like my like imitation, I suppose, like the pool first. Like History Channel shit.
I hated that shit. What was that? Win Ben Stein's Money. That was like the dumbest game show.
Oh, I remember the name. I really don't remember watching it though. I remember him in The Mask.
It was
like
one of those...
movie? I like that movie.
Oh, sure. What was this stupid thing? Like, somebody stop me! Or whatever. But no, Ben Stein and like those shows, that was like, you know, that Wheel of Fortune, that was like you're homesick from school. There's literally nothing else on TV. You find the thing you hate the least and watch it.
I always felt like, I just thought my brother was kind of sad. He would go downstairs, like, not because he was sick or anything, because like he doesn't have work until like odd hours of the day. And it was like Wheel of Time, like for hours. And I'm like, is this fun? Is this what you do? Are you like an 80-year-old man in a retirement home?
So I was really expecting more to Impact on this, not in terms of like going for like a big ling all in, but more so in the terms of like I didn't expect him to get this mostly just for the anti-reaper. This is Gumiho. He's notorious for playing mech on this map, and he's really notorious for playing battle cruisers on any map he can get away with it on. So the fact that this is a map that leads towards both those things, I don't know. I was just expecting Impact to get a little more aggressive, a little more in his face, I suppose. Try and deny this third best he can, something like that. But yeah, Gumiho still with the Hellions, can transition to Bio stuff he wants. We've seen him win games with Bio. I'm just saying, mech seems to be his forte.
Yeah. You know, getting Banshees with Cloak is a good lead-in to mech, but it's never just 100%. He's getting a Tech Lab on the barracks. We'll see if he lifts off or not. That's undoubtedly what this Overlord is looking for. The stim being finished up or not. Or starting, rather. Or not. And he's not going to get the opportunity to.
Yeah, I'm also wondering if that's going to be actually for... I like there's certain times you can go past in the game. Like if he starts stim even by 9 minutes, that's still okay, but it's like you don't want to wait too long. And it looks like it is just gonna be mech, so he'll start just building reactors and tech labs for all his factories.
Exactly. Impact looks to be at least guessing that's the case, and I simply say guessing because so far Impact has not shown any Roach Hydra or Roach builds against Terran today, so the fact that he's going for it just, you know, kind of, I don't know, it tells me that he's expecting this from Gumiho and Deadwing. And
yeah. No, I like this move too. Again, like, that's the thing about Gumiho. He is a predictable player, but that doesn't make him any easier to deal with. There are so many players that are like that. Like, Polt's another person like that. He plays standard every time. Doesn't mean you can necessarily use that against him. Because a lot of these players, like Gumiho especially, I'd say, it comes down to their decision-making and you know, how calm they can stay under pressure and whatnot. Not a lot of players can actually play to the hour-long mark and still be at the top of their game. Usually you start going a little bit insane, a little bit on tilt, and a little bit frustrated. Just what we got this slow poke. I'm gonna squeeze these in before I forget. 2 donations came in, guys. This game, $10 from Mr. Boris Makarov. Says, good morning, Griffin and Zombie Grub. It's good to catch you in OlimoLeague after driving 16 hours in the previous day. Glad to, and then it cuts off, but I'm assuming it was something really nice. So thank you, Mr. Boris Makarov. $3 donation from Kitty the Neko again. Says, I can't think of a good message. Take my monies.
I keep getting, they keep on doing dual donations. It's so nice. Thank you, Boris Makarov.
Zombie Grub's got her hands on her face, guys. She really appreciates it.
Oh.
She's like, oh my god. Okay, so it is gonna be mech. We had the double armor slap down while we're doing the big thank yous. We got +1 on the way. Gumiho, by the way, he's one of the players who consistently show the few times +1 armor is really good versus Zerg. And again, this factors more into the air than it does the ground. Usually Hellions with +1 aren't going to live any longer versus Banelings when they're Hellbats or not. It really benefits the air more than anything else. So having this ship plating pre-finished by the time you've got Vikings coming out, by the time you've got battlecruisers coming out, like, this is really nice to have.
We do bring up battlecruisers for a reason. I don't know if any of you all have not seen Gumiho yet and actually watched Base Trade TV. If so, that just seems kind of an unlucky coincidence, but this guy goes battlecruisers and he's really enthusiastic about it for the most part. It's like, that to him seems to be the perfect endgame for TVZ.
I'm a battlecruiser enthusiast. Like, who describes themselves like that? Nice catching these queens though. Oh my god. Splash damage is a hell of a thing. Now, while he does clear creep tumor laying queens, it's not like oh wow, actually hold up, some lings get by. This is a bit of a problem. He did just bring everything across the map. Banshee does stop to kill these. Looks like Hellion should clean up too. But he can't give away, that's the point I was going to make, was he can't give away all of these Hellions. He knows there's roaches coming, he saw that with this. Yes, you can hope that a Banshee will eventually stop this, but you're going to need those Hellbats. You're going to need that little bit of extra oomph, that buffer for those Thors, for tanks that you might have in play.
Impact gets a Spire. You gotta think this is for Mutas, because he's not starting like an Infestation Pit or a Hive quite yet. Otherwise, it'd be sending Broodlords all the way. But I wonder how much is going to really work out here. And this Roach stack is pretty good.
Thor's and Banshees are going to hold this. I mean,
yeah, especially
there's just no way.
Obviously, they will never die against roaches.
Oh, this queen's going to die, though. What are you doing here, girl?
Being her own independent dead woman.
Who don't need no man. But she does need, like, you know, something to keep those guts together. Infestation Pit coming out of Impact. Definitely the potential of Swarm Host. Whether that's the case or not, we'll see. Players like Impact have shown in the past they definitely prefer using things like Abducts and Vipers and Hive Tech rather than actual Swarm Hosts. He's also shown us some pretty cool Ultras transitions as well. Whether that ends up being the case or not, we'll have to see, because he is hitting that timing where Gumiho's taking his 4th, and because of this, the clock ticks to when he puts down those extra 2 or 3 Stargates, or sorry, Starports rather, because it's there, not Protoss, and starts making those first off, usually Vikings into battlecruisers.
I don't know if Impact was expecting this push out. He was saving money for something. I don't think he really decided on what yet, but he sees this move, and it's already in his face, man. 33 roaches are on the way.
I kind of
and when they pop out, they'll probably be enough.
Yeah, they'll hold this. It's going to be costly no matter how you look at it, but they will hold this. The Banshees might take a little bit longer to deal with, of course, but it shouldn't be like Blue Flame Hellings killing all the drones. These roaches are a little out of their league where they are. This is the definition of overextended.
Yeah. That Roach max, I don't think he was planning on maxing Roach, but he did, and it actually worked out really well. He can counterattack, even though Gumiho is following up with tanks. You know, you need more than just 3, 6, and even 9 tanks to really defend against a huge Roach swamp.
Yeah. So fast lands for second, immediately cancels into Locust, so just a total mistake. Tanks a little too close to the depots. Ooh, this happens all too often.
This might be game ending. I don't know what else you can bring back here. The Banshees are still on the list of the map trying to deal damage, but they're killing like hatcheries and stuff.
The Vikings are landing, contributing too. I still have a lot of drones with these Hellbats. I mean, it's a weird trade. I think Banshees did get cleaned up though, so without those Banshees, I don't think he's got that advantage to race out the Roaches. Now the thing is, the Roaches are low, so a couple good tank volleys will finish them off, but obviously positioning tanks, this is going to be a little bit more than impossible. CCs did lift, and he's going to lose some depots behind. This is really sucks, but this is probably the best move Impact could hope to go for, because while he is taking losses at home, this really prevents Gumiho from going air. And that's where the game really starts falling apart for Zerg players, when meching players can get Ravens, when they get Battle Cruisers, when they got mass Vikings. So as risky as this was out of Impact, I love the way this played out. Look at Gumiho's supply count right now. Like his supply cap even. Just half that of Impact's.
Gumiho's down on 1 base, man. There's not much more to say than that. And he really, the push out would have to be very, very slow. And even then, it's base by base. So he's on 1 base now, and he's on actually 2 base now. But in a minute he'll be on 3 base, and another minute he'll be on 4, maybe. But by that time, Impact will have chosen a secondary tech, Swarm Hosts, Mutas, Brood Lords, anything that he wants. Pushing in here might not be the best idea.
No, not through Hellbats and pre-sieged tanks, but still, I mean, he really beat Gumiho back. To be completely honest with you, I kind of feel like Impact would have to be AFK for 5-10 minutes for Gumiho to come back to this. I mean, Impact's economy's looking really solid on 78 workers. Gumiho barely has a 3rd base established, and it's a planetary, not an orbital, so he doesn't have that extra mule. I mean, there's 3 CCs dropping mules isn't too bad, but I don't think his production is going to keep up with whatever Impact chooses to go for here, whether it's Mutas, Brood Lords, Swarm Hosts.
Supply block at 100.
That's what I was saying. Like half. It's actually half Impacts.
Yeah, it's not so good. Gumiho does keep in mind that a Muta swap is not only possible, but pretty likely, as that is the one thing that will break his siege tank line, as opposed to just more Roaches or Hydras, where that's very easily, a throwaway of an army. So he starts getting in Thors. But even then, just a couple of Thors can't deal with upwards to 30, 40 Mutas. You need to get more Thors, a couple of, Ravens, and actually a lot of Vikings as well to help out. And that's when you're really set against it. But until then, good magic boxing can make up for a lot.
I like these Hellion round buys, trying to get back into this. No turrets down at all. Ooh. Certainly doesn't have to fight the Vikings, but says, you know what, you really don't have many, so let's flock into this.
It's much like the Vikings are out of position. If they're with the Thors, he might not take it on. As you can see, he just runs after this. But if they're out of position, definitely take on that fight. Doesn't really commit that much more to these Mutas. I thought maybe he really was planning on going up towards 30, but actually stays at, what was it, 9, and then goes into Swarm Hosts.
Yeah, I was definitely thinking somewhere along those lines, but I don't know, man. Gumi, like, how good can you turtle, right? Like, that's, I think that's the question right now. And it's not even like how good Gumiho can turtle. It's like Gumiho at his highest potential, can he turtle enough with the race that he has? I
actually think that he can, depending on what mistakes Impact makes or what choices he makes. Going into Swarm Host is going to be an even longer game than maybe it should be after that devastating damage.
Yeah, and I like what he's done too, is like set up this, maybe not even pseudo-contain, but just Impact knows Gumiho's not taking this 3rd, or 4th rather. at his third base location. So just sitting here on 3 bases, this is manageable. I don't think he knows how bad of a supply block Gumiho's at, but you don't need to know that to recognize it when you come and they've got nothing to fight you with.
Impact's going to be just so hard pressed to find actually a kill move. That's what kind of sucks about mech, is that even if you think that you got a kill move once, they can hang on for a long time. And now this doesn't mean that you're going to lose the game, obviously, even if Gumiho does get max again, which he very well might. Impact still has, you know, he has the bigger bank, he's taken the map, he has creep spread, he has all of the upgrades. You can see that on production tab, he's actually getting almost every single upgrade that you can. And as such, the tech swaps become a lot more, well, not manageable for Gumiho. And Gumiho, again, that perfect end game for him has always so far been battle cruisers. But good luck getting battle cruisers. Like on 3 bases, you know, shortly down to 2 is your first 2 do mine out.
Yeah.
I don't know about these infestors. I feel like Impact is expecting him to go for mass air. Otherwise, like, infestors really aren't that helpful against tank.
Yeah. I'm feeling pretty confident Impact doesn't know how ahead he is, or was rather. But Gumiho has been given time to catch up. Impact doesn't have like a 9k bank for him. It is very potential Gumiho could still win this game. I'd still say he's a pretty bad spot, mostly just because Impact's been kind of given the liberty to get all the tech out behind this. So it's not going to be very difficult for him to swap from one thing to another, to another, to another. I do wish we would have seen more creep spread, be it through overlords directly on top of bases, or taking the hatcheries, whatever the case may be. But, and I also kind of, I know there's already Vikings out on mass. I would have loved to have seen a Broodlord or 2. Just force the tanks on siege, that sort of thing.
Impact really doesn't have an option as other than just wait until Gumiho is the one that pushes out. It really does suck that there's not just like a kill move here, but Swarm Hosts, they take forever. They're really not that great at attacking, honestly. I mean, they're there for constant, you know, offense, but it's not just it doesn't break anything, usually. Ultras are on the way. Those aren't really that great at breaking siege lines either, but when Gumiho moves out, a surround is deadly.
Yeah. I would have loved to have started seeing some Vipers come out, if for nothing else. Like, just the abducts. I'm a big advocate of abducts, we bring it up all the time. Cool fungal growth here on the right side, nothing too insane. He will pick off the Medivacs with the Hellbats in, though. Not too bad. But Swarm must have to give up position, he's got to fall back, and this is not something he wants to do.
Those infestors really did not add a whole lot here, but Impact is going all into Ultras, and this is that time where Gumiho stepping onto creep, stepping onto the middle of the map, which is just it allows for a very good surround. He has to make it pretty much to Impact's ramp, his 4th, his 3rd, something, and get a decent position, or else he might just get swamped.
This is where I'm a little bit worried, though. I mean, Ultras alone are no good. The Swarm Hosts are not quite that numerous. Mulists have also dwindled out. I mean, he is pretty much going to be forced to fight with Ultras and Zerglings, and I don't know how that's going to work with these Blue Flame Hellbats supporting the army so well.
He's going in right now. Production has just popped for the Ultras.
I don't think this is going to work, Soundgrove. I think somehow... Yeah, Gumiho's going to go down. This is just... Or maybe not, hang on. Does beat these back.
Will the Locust be enough? Work?
Will the Locust be enough?
I don't know, actually. I think Impact will hold this. It didn't look that promising, yeah. But he was one who had a bank. So, you know, he lost right there. And Gumiho is on his doorstep, but he's still on 6 bases, and 8 Ultras are on the way. Gumiho does not have that fast reinforcement line. He's mech, and it's a really long map.
I mean, I love the Ultras because they're going to beat back the Hellbats. Obviously, the Zerglings can't get involved with Blue Flame Hellbats in play, but it's those pesky tanks.
Oh god, those lings just get barbecued.
Oh, nice time for the Ultras and the Swarm Host to live through that scan.
There we go. There's the Ultras getting that surround. And they still aren't, you know, absolutely fantastic, but they are far, like, they're enough. Gumiho did not have a big army there. And it was, again, in a position that could be surrounded.
Going back pretty heavily into Infestors, I'm really curious about this.
He must really be expecting Gumiho to go for mass air. There was almost no other reason. You could start arguing maybe, like, Infested Terrans could do some damage to, like, you know, friendly fire with siege tanks. But, like, Fungal is like, who cares? you're already stuck in a position because you're sieged.
Those Thors knocked down that base pretty freaking quick, by the way.
Dude, Thor drops are the worst, alright? Don't even get me started. Played a mech game once, never again. Or rather, I played a Swarm Host game once, never again.
I wonder what's faster at killing things, double Thors or double Immortals?
I actually want to say double Thors, just like thinking back and like seeing 2 Immortals versus a Hatchery versus 2 Thors, but
yeah,
I don't know the math.
Well, more Thors than Hellbats coming out. I guess both these players are just predicting incredibly wrong. I guess actually no, I take that back. Thors aren't always for mutas. They do punch pretty hard against the Ultras. Quite a bit of damage, shot twice. Was it 35 plus?
Impact does great clearing up stuff on his side of the map, and it does come back to the fact that Gumiho is running out of minerals, but Ultras again can't break past the siege line of Gumiho.
Yeah,
they're gonna try. I'm guessing, but
the muta swap's not a bad idea either. But still, I'm gonna stand by it. I think we need to see Vipers. I think we need to see Vipers in a big way.
I think Gumiho would do well to actually try and get up to a mass AR army. Because he has to realize too that like here he's perfectly fine, he's alright. When he pushes out, not so much. And you do need to push out eventually. I mean, you're running out of bases, man. It's 2 bases gone. 4th is probably looking a little weak.
Yeah. Do we drop a mules ever again? I do like that Impact finally started creeping up all the bases too. A little bit where Gumi could just lift up and throw something down. Small Hellbat attack on the other side of the map, but small being the emphasis.
Is Impact like hiding these mutas? Kind of. Yeah, I mean, it's not really hidden, but the scans aren't really going down either. Gumiho, again, mindful of this transition, is getting nothing but Thors again. 8 Thors with 3 more on the way and a couple of Vikings sprinkled in there.
Well, the Infestor is looking for a job to do. Would love to see them segment off and maybe, oh, it's just a nice little catch there.
That's useful. Again, Vikings really do add a lot against mutas. Thors by themselves can be magic boxed, and they actually do take forever to kill mutas, so it'd be nice if we could kill all the Vikings.
Easier said
huge
than
counterattack
done,
though. Like, F the, don't bother with the whole army, just attack.
I don't think it's choice though. I mean, it's kind of reverse Swarm Host logic. Go around the mech army. Don't fight the mech army.
Yeah, and I do like that he stopped going for Swarm Hosts.
Ooh, this magic box though.
This was like 3 Thors you think would deal with any amount of mutas. Ooh, a little stacking up right there. But the Vikings are very necessary, and actually brings them back way too late, so they're just gonna die and leave the other Thors pretty barren. But with 8 Thors, you would need like, I don't know, 70 mutas to actually be able to magic box that many.
Or 100.
Or even better, 120. Just supply them now. But it's just, this is Gumiho's last army. Finally! I mean, he had 2 armies behind us he did not think that he was gonna get. But this is definitely the last. And simply because, well, finally Impact is going on top of production. There is no backup army being prepared right now.
So that is kind of a nice feeling though. Like, this is where Swarm Host will start getting you back into the game. Even if it's only 2 shots at a siege tank, it doesn't kill it, but it will eventually kill it. Even fungal growth damage being unrepairable at this point. There's a lot of what ifs involved with what's pushing, but Impact ultimately at the end of the day is putting on top of production, kills a lot, can try and pick up factories, move them. You just gotta be careful. He's about to lose like 7.
No!
Ooh.
That was a mistake. That was a good mistake.
Yeah. Ouch.
And this is his strategy right now. Impact, that is. He has lost both bases that were, you know, the main mining bases. He doesn't have that much of a bank. His strategy is to win out with mutas.
Yeah, he's got a lot more coming, so I mean, certainly doable. Kill all the buildings. Kind of interesting to use one infested here, and there's a scout. See what's up.
That was a fungal and a oh, there we go.
I can't believe that hatchery lives. 77 HP hype.
I really talked about the fact that his mutas are also really well upgraded. Since that very first Spire, he's been getting upgrades. So he's going to be on 3-3, barring the depth of the Spire making it.
Man, this Not how I expected this game to go, to be completely honest.
Well, I thought there was going to be some kill move for Impact, like Roach Hydra Viper after that big Roach attack. So it wouldn't have lasted nearly as long, but he went into Swarm Hosts, and I feel like that was what gave Gumiho even just like a chance. And also why this game goes on until 37 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, Gumiho's reasoning for not leaving makes sense. He's got a very sizable army that is actually dealing pretty well with what Impact's got, or will rather deal well. But again, at the end of the day, I feel like a couple good fungal growths would allay this army. Maybe some Fesitarians.
Wasn't it Gumiho who had that really weird game where he had to try and save his buildings? You know, and he flew him around with him.
Yes, that was what versus Lenok, I think, right?
Something like that. Yeah, GG. But I feel like this guy has more of those than anyone else.
Yeah.